Welcome. In this video, how many Zbcn do you need for $500,000? We will analyze this. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and please watch to the end to understand.
But first, let's analyze Zbcn.
When a price breaks through a certain resistance level and then pulls back to retest that level, this is considered a highly important and positive structure in technical analysis. Especially if the price gains upward momentum again after this move, it can signal a strong rally to investors. Resistance levels are typically known as zones where buyers struggle and selling pressure increases. A breakout above such a level suggests that supply has weakened against demand, meaning sellers are no longer able to push the price down while buyers are taking control. In this context, when the price returns to the broken resistance and holds at that level, now acting as support, it becomes a very strong technical signal, laying the groundwork for a new upward move. This retest after a breakout essentially indicates the technical structure is solidifying. Many investors tend to buy again at the broken resistance zone, which increases liquidity and strengthens buying pressure. Especially if technical confirmations such as long wick candles, strong green candle closes, or increasing volume are observed at this level, it shows that confidence is being rebuilt in the market and the price may target higher levels. Any short-term pauses or small declines during the retest indicate that the market is consolidating and gathering strength for the next move. This suggests the market is healthily determining direction and the rise will be built on a stronger foundation. In these kinds of price movements, it is crucial that the broken resistance level functions as support. If the price can stay above this level and gains upward momentum again, this is known in technical analysis as a support flip. This flip is an important signal that the trend is sustainable. In other words, a zone that previously pulled price downward is now pushing it upward. This reflects a major shift in market psychology, indicating that sellers have lost strength while buyers are gaining control. Thanks to this shift, investors can set larger targets and increase their positions, creating stronger upward pressure on the price. A successful retest also provides a suitable foundation for investors to set stop-loss levels. If the price fails to bounce from the retested resistance and drops back below it, it may be a fakeout. But if the price holds at that level and starts bouncing upward, it becomes a strong buy signal from a technical standpoint. For this reason, investors often view this area as an accumulation zone. That's where major players start buying and preparing to push the price higher. The stronger this accumulation process is, the more powerful and sustainable the following rally will be. A retest of a broken resistance also draws attention from large investors and institutions. These kinds of movements are key moments when liquidity reshapes and the market seeks direction. That's why many technical analysts watch price behavior at these levels closely. If the price breaks out again from this level, technical formations start to emerge, such as higher highs and lower lows, signaling the start of an uptrend. One of the most important details to watch during a retest is volume. If the volume decreases while the price returns to the broken resistance, it usually indicates a healthy retest process. This shows the correction is weak and only due to short-term profit-taking. However, if the volume rises again at this level and upward candles begin to form, it indicates a new wave of buying has started. This lays the groundwork for new buy signals for investors. If the price holds and bounces upward multiple times from this level, it becomes technically defined as a strong support zone, and that level becomes a new reference point. These kinds of technical structures are critically important in forecasting potential future price movements.
I'm interrupting the video for a moment, friends, because Zbcn'S exchange has a great campaign. Here's how it works. After registering on the exchange via the link in the description and completing KYC, if you deposit $100 for your first deposit, you will receive a $20 bonus. If you deposit $500, you will receive a $100 bonus, and if you deposit $1,000, you will receive a $200 bonus. I think this is an excellent opportunity for leverage trading. For more details, you can read the articles below. The link is in the description.
When looking at the current structure observed on the price chart, it's clear that a highly promising pattern formation is continuing, both from the perspective of investors and technical analysts. This structure is known in classic technical analysis literature as the cup and handle pattern, and is typically considered a strong technical setup that signals a long-term bullish trend. The cup and handle formation develops after a price bottoms out, gradually recovers, and then moves sideways with a minor correction, representing a model that signifies investor confidence both psychologically and structurally. The primary purpose of this pattern is for market participants to first digest previous losses and then re-enter positions, pushing prices higher. The current price movement is in a key phase of this formation and, upon analysis, is sending quite positive signals to investors. Especially considering that the price has been in a recovery phase for a long time and has been consistently forming higher lows and highs, it's reasonable to say that the cup portion of the pattern is largely complete. At this point, one of the defining characteristics of the cup formation, a V-shaped or more rounded recovery, is evident. This curved structure represents a trend of gradual and healthy price increase rather than a sudden spike. That's why the completion of the cup portion indicates that investors are beginning to recognize the price potential and that buying pressure is forming. At this stage, many technical analysts and investors start closely monitoring the development of the handle portion, as this process is typically a precursor to a strong breakout, followed by rapid price movement. The price is now in the stage of forming this handle. The handle is the final phase of the cup formation and typically represents a short period of sideways or slightly downward consolidation. During this time, some investors may take profits, or new investors may wait for better entry points. This brief pause usually lays the groundwork for a significant upcoming upward move, as the market starts to attract new buyers during the handle phase. Once the handle is complete and the price breaks above the resistance in that area, the pattern's target level becomes technically active. This target level reflects the depth of the cup projected upward, which in the current analysis corresponds to approximately a 120% increase. The price target of 0.0012, which has been identified as the formation's target level, is an extremely significant resistance point for investors. This level serves not only as a technical target, but also as a psychological barrier. For the price to reach this point would indicate that the pattern has been successfully completed. From a technical analysis perspective, a move toward this level supported by strong volume further validates the structure and reinforces investor confidence. If the upward move plays out as expected and the 0.0012 level is tested, this confirms the validity of the formation and is considered a major success in the context of technical analysis. Moreover, cup and handle patterns are among the most reliable formations that often precede significant price movements, and both short-term and long-term investors follow them closely. The behavior the price displays during the development of this formation provides highly valuable clues about its future direction. In particular, the symmetry between the left and right sides of the cup, the duration of the handle, and the distribution of volume are all factors that directly affect the strength of the pattern. If the right side of the cup, the recovery process, develops with more volume and greater stability, it increases the potential for a strong breakout. Also, if the handle is not too deep or prolonged, the pattern's validity is further enhanced. When analyzing the current technical state of the price, it becomes clear that the cup formation is distinctly visible and the handle is in the process of forming. This means that the near-term direction of the price will largely depend on how the handle phase concludes. If the price breaks upward from the handle and rises with volume, the technical target of 0.0012 will come into play. Reaching this target level is significant not only in terms of price, but also in validating the completion of the pattern. In technical analysis, successful pattern targets increase investor confidence and make it easier to forecast future movements based on similar formations. To summarize, the cup and handle formation is a strong technical analysis tool shaped by investor psychology, supply-demand dynamics, and market structure. The fact that the price is currently forming this pattern signals major potential in a possible upward movement.
Let's examine in detail and comprehensively how an investor aiming to reach 500,000 US dollars can achieve this goal with Zbcn coin. First, this calculation is based on the assumption that Zbcn coin will reach a certain target price. Our target price is set at $0.0012. In other words, it is projected that Zbcn coin may reach the level of $0.0012 in the future. This price is one of the potential targets that could be achieved if several factors such as technical analysis, chart formations, market structure, supply-demand balance, community development, and potential news flows develop positively. If this price level becomes a realistic expectation, investors may want to calculate how many coins they need to hold in order to reach that point. The first step to reaching $500,000 is to calculate how many coins would be worth that amount at the target price of $0.0012. To do this, 500,000 is divided by 0.0012. The result of this division is 416,666,666.66. Put more simply, approximately 416,666,666 ZBCN coins would be needed to reach the desired amount. This is quite a large number, but such figures are considered typical for investors dealing with low-priced cryptocurrencies. Now, let's calculate the cost of acquiring such a large quantity of coins at the current price. The current price of ZBCN coin is $0.0005. When this price is multiplied by 416,666,666 coins, the result is $208,333. This means that an individual investing $208,333 today, while the price of ZBCN coin is at $0.0005, could reach a portfolio value of $500,000 if the target price of $0.0012 per coin is achieved. At its core, this is a relatively simple mathematical calculation, but investment decisions should not be limited solely to numerical estimations like this, because there are important elements to consider. First, it should be questioned whether the target price of $0.0012 is a realistic goal. The answer to this depends entirely on market dynamics, interest in the project, the ZBCN team's vision, the development process, adoption rate, and especially the trust that will be built in the market. If the ZBCN project progresses in a way that gains community support and gains more visibility on exchanges, this target could become an achievable level. Another important factor is the size of the investment. An amount like $208,000 is quite significant for most individual investors. Therefore, a detailed risk analysis should be conducted before making such an investment. Directing such a large amount into a single coin carries considerable risk. However, if the investor trusts ZBCN, conducts technical analysis, believes in the project's potential, and has the capital to commit such an amount, this strategy could be a viable roadmap. Additionally, another key point to consider is market volatility. The cryptocurrency market is highly volatile, and prices can change dramatically in short periods. In low-priced coins like ZBCN, this volatility can be even greater. Therefore, the process of reaching the $0.0012 level may take time or may not occur at all. For this reason, it's important for investors to remain patient, adhere to their technical analysis, and avoid making emotional decisions. At this point, formations, indicators, and investor psychology come into play. For example, if ZBCN's price begins to form technical structures such as a cup and handle pattern, inverse head and shoulders, or an ascending channel, this could serve as early preparation for the target price. In addition, indicators like RSI, MACD, ATR, Fibonacci levels, and Elliott wave patterns can provide signals about the direction of the price. Especially signs like a potential third wave, a breakout on the RSI, or a bullish MACD crossover are strong indicators that upward movement may begin. If an investor interprets these signals correctly, the $500,000 goal may not just be a dream, but a tangible target. Furthermore, the strength of the community and the social media presence behind the ZBCN coin play a major role in the price. If the community supports the ZBCN project, creates content, shares it, and increases interest in the project, it becomes more likely that ZBCN will be listed on more exchanges, attract investor attention, and increase in price. Especially in decentralized projects, the role of the community is critical, and price targets are largely shaped by the community's activity. If the community is strategically organized and contributes to the long-term development of the project, reaching target prices becomes much more feasible. Another key factor in creating an investment strategy is cost averaging. That is, instead of investing all capital at once, an investor may decide to accumulate coins over time through periodic purchases. This strategy helps to acquire coins at better prices during dips. Thus, the average cost per coin is reduced, and even if the target price is reached earlier than expected, the desired profit may still be achieved. Accumulating the required 416,666,666 ZBCN coins through cost averaging can help the investor approach their goal with greater confidence. In conclusion, it is possible to reach a target of $500,000 through ZBCN coin. To achieve this, approximately 416,666,666 ZBCN coins would be required. At today's price, this would mean an investment of around $208,333. This investment strategy gains meaning when supported by risk management, technical analysis, market tracking, and the investor's commitment to their goals. With a patient, disciplined, and informed investment process, it may be possible to reach this target. However, since no investment guarantees a profit, it is always important for investors to make informed decisions, avoid emotional behavior, and develop their strategies through their own research. Of course, profits can also be made with smaller amounts of capital.
Yes, friends, I hope you liked the video. If you subscribe to my channel and like the video, more videos will be coming. Be careful in your investments, analyze the risk correctly, and always take strategic steps. I will be with you with different analyses, investment opportunities, and technical information in my videos. I wish you all a lot of profit. See you soon.